We're at TVLine's Comic-Con Lounge, presented by ZTE with the cast and creators of 24. Corey, how do you feel about taking on such an iconic role? I mean, you're not literally playing Jack Bauer, but you're playing the Jack Bauer role. At least that's how I've been billing it.
Okay, listen, it's obviously a franchise that I grew up watching this show, and I knew like every episode, and I watched every season, and I was literally that audience member who I love the real time format. I love they sort of changed the face of television. You know what I mean? And so to be a part of the new edition of that is first off just an honor, but I just think the writing on the show. And I know they're sitting here, so but I really do.
You're doing fine. You're just doing great. I'm really. You're saying exactly what we told you to say.
Exactly.
You're sticking to the script.
But it's really. I mean, it
feels so much love for Corey right now.
It lifts off the page though, and I remember reading the script, and there wasn't. Obviously, there was a lot of pressure, but the answer was yes immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Same for me. I read the script and was like, I'm in. I want to do it. That we had the phone conversation where it's meant to be the big sell, and I'm like, yeah, but I want to do it. I'm gonna do it.
Right. We were blessed to have the two people who we wanted immediately say yes.
Yeah.
A little too easy. We're like, oh, now what? Aren't we supposed to suffer for a month getting no's and then, we just
for both of them, we didn't really go to anybody else. With Corey, our casting director, which is also my wife, saw Compton, and she got back to her car in Century City, and she said, I got him. She called me. She goes, I got your guy. And we never talked about anybody else, saw anybody else, or read anybody else.
So is this 12 episodes, correct? Was this sort of the way the original show ideally would have been as opposed to 24? Because 24 in one season is just an insane number of episodes, and there's always that criticism of the filler episodes. This seems like the ideal number for a show like this. Would you agree?
TV changed, right?
I agree.
A lot of shows had 22 episodes as a matter of course, so 24 episodes was 2 more episodes. It wasn't that big a deal, but the show was an incredible grind. I mean, you got 2 weeks off. But we'd love more episodes, but 12 is I think in this universe, whether you want to watch it live or binge it, it feels like it's about right for now. We reserve the right to maybe do some more episodes in the next season.
I'm a purist. I think it should be 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
Danny wants 24. I don't know.
24, it should be 24.
Are you ready, if any of the actors complain about doing 12, you're like, oh, if you only knew 24.
I'm not
Talk to Kiefer Sutherland.
Not
The actors didn't really complain much about 24. It was mostly the writers.
I'm sure.
It's pretty much.
We get to that 17th episode where we're BSing our way through a story.
There was always one. There was always one or two. Was it 11?
It was more like 17 and 18.
But there was one early on. There was always a cursed number.
Will there be many callbacks to sort of the original in terms of casting callbacks? That's really what I'm getting at. There's obviously buzz that Kiefer might pop in. I'm thinking, I'm even more excited about the possibility of Chloe popping in. What are the chances of that happening?
We have plans, but right now our clear priority is these new characters, our actors, and having the audience build a relationship with them. But we have some surprises we have planned.
Can you set up sort of the premise of this season?
Well, the premise of the season is actually based on a real story that we had seen, and it was about the guys who actually shot and who took out Osama bin Laden. And there was a lot of articles talking about how these guys became, in a way, marginalized, had to go into hiding and had to go and kind of live their lives by themselves because they were targeted. And so it struck us as a fascinating in for a character. If you had a character who had participated in a mission to take out a huge terrorist leader and then had to go back to his normal life, and then what would happen if the people who were after him found out and started killing off the members of his team one by one. And he's the one who realizes this and goes on a large quest to find out why this is happening. And ultimately, it turns into a conspiracy, and there are layers and that lead all the way to the highest reaches of government. But that's where the original idea. And partly what was so exciting is that it was a way to start a fresh, brand new character, a character who's not Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer was a seasoned agent. This character is not. This character is a soldier who's not used to this world of espionage and spies and all. He just where do I shoot and who do I kill? And now he has to enter a gray area, which is completely new to him.
No, there are no rules of engagement in the 24 universe.
We look at this as an extension of the 24 universe. This is not a reboot. So it's an adventure that will be existing alongside, in between the adventures that have already gone on. So that should kind of give you an idea of where, because we may very well intersect with other characters that we've set up who are out in the world and are doing their own thing.
Who are alive.
Obviously.
You killed quite a few.
And no one wanted to knock on the door.
Right.